From the beginning of time, humans have had this need to survive. The earliest humans hunted and gathered their food. Now, we go to grocery stores. How do we get from point A to point B? Experts say this revolution in the way we live took place around 10,000 years ago, in the year 8000 BC. Get your pad and paper, because this is a pretty important advancement in history. Historians like to divide history into nice digestible chunks of years. The Old Stone Age began around 2 million years ago and lasted till about 8000 BCE. In order to survive, the earliest humans hunted and gathered their food. The New Stone Age officially began when people learned how to farm and produce their own food. Now that they didn't have to hunt and gather their food, early humans could remain in one location and build a civilization. They chose the most fertile areas where the crops could grow. As population grew, so did their civilization, culture, and the need for interactions with other civilizations. Once people discovered they didn't need to depend on hunting and gathering, they began to live very different lives. Early farmers learned what seeds would produce the most crops. They also learned how to domesticate animals. The Neolithic Age began when they invented farming. Finally, humans had a stable food supply. Thanks to agriculture and this surplus of food, humans could stay in one place. The earliest shelters were built with the natural resources that were in the area, like mud bricks, stones, and branches. Eventually, shelters became more complex with places to store food and pits for cooking. Most importantly, houses gave people protection from harsh weather and wild animals. These permanent shelters also allowed people to form larger communities. Also, thanks to agriculture, communities grew larger and larger. The surplus of food led these larger populations to create specialization of labor. Now, community members could divide up the work and become experts in a specific area. People had more time and energy for other activities. People had free time to invent new things and make their lives easier. Also, thanks to agriculture, people had new jobs. Previously, humans spent their days hunting and gathering. Now, because food was in surplus, people specialized their work in other areas. There were weavers, basket makers, tool makers, and traders. Focusing on one job allowed people to get better at their work. This led to new and better ways of doing things. Thanks to agriculture and a specialized workforce, people began trading with other civilizations. People began venturing out of their civilizations in order to get more resources they didn't have. Traders often traveled hundreds of miles to find what they wanted. Some popular items that were traded were flint, obsidian, and various beauty products. Trade not only brought new resources to different regions, but it also helped spread ideas and knowledge around the world. We've come a long way from being hunter and gatherers. A revolution has occurred. Humans figured out how to farm and make their lives easier. They created permanent shelters, communities, new jobs, and trade. Eventually, these smaller settlements would become much larger civilizations and bring about much larger problems. Here's some references.